I cheat.
Yeah.
I'd use a lot of common tones. So, all right, let's say that if we in the key of G, so in the key of G, for example, all right, so we're in the key of G, and of course, your next change is going to be C. Well, we know that the G still fits into the key of C, right? And if you're going to change, there are several, and E, for example, would work, E is the, the third of C, right?
Mm-hmm.
G is the fifth. So you keep going like that, and every tone that's in the chord that's being played by others, you can just find one. That's what I'm talking about cheating. You find whatever note that fits within that, you hold on to that one. And a lot of times people don't know that you really don't know what you're doing. You just, but you got it though. I can hear pretty good. I can hear pretty good when somebody's playing. They're in the key of G and they're playing. I might just come up like this. Then when they change, so I'm within that chord. See, in most cases. People that don't know that I really don't know that I'm really just guessing, if you will, if that's a good word. So that's the way I do. But that ain't the best thing to do. The best thing to do is know the chords. If you know the chords, play it with ease. And there are so many chords that make up songs that sound so beautiful. Half of them I don't even know today. Most times I follow it from here and here. The ear and the heart of the words. I feel what I'm doing and I hear it. But that's not always good. A person should try to learn to read the music as well. I read, but slowly. If I was going to record with you today and there's a piece you wanted me to play, give me my music today and I may have it ready tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But it's a good thing. Some people say that it's not good, but don't believe them. It would be no way I could tell you to turn to page 35 or 42 or whatever it is and we're going to read this if I didn't know how to read. So you need to know how to read, and if you do that, you'll find then that you can play with other people easily if you learn to read well. But now that don't mean that you don't. Some guys maybe started like I did. You by yourself, you practice, and you never ever keep the time properly when you start by yourself without somebody teaching you or showing you. Now, well, yeah, you can keep the beat going. I've always been good with that. But if I'm playing with people, I need to hear the sound of the bass. I need to hear something that gives me a guideline while I'm playing. So I would say try to learn all of that so you don't have to have those guidelines. They help, of course. You always need them, but you don't have to have them. For example, if I've gotten so used to doing it, so let's say, nobody loves me but my mother, and she could be jiving too. You know, so don't play no chords. Nobody loves me but my mother. She could be jiving too. So now when I act funny with you, it's all because of the way you do. The clarinet, I can read music better with it than anything else. Even the guitar, I read, well, I wouldn't say now because I haven't tried playing for quite some time. I've really been concentrating on the guitar. But when I was practicing, I could read much faster with the clarinet. And so some of the techniques, like running scales, and then you could go all over. I learned to and little things like that. Makes your ears bigger. Well, I don't mean really bigger, but you know, you can hear more. What I'm trying to say. That's one thing the clarinet has did do for me. If that's what it takes, baby. Well, one of the things that happens when you've played a long time, I think like I have, you kind of expect certain things. You expect the unexpected, if that's a good word. But a lot of the young players you hear today, as well as some of the old ones, but the young players are really, when it comes to progression, they know what they're doing. So I listen. I got nothing but young players with me, you know, so they don't know, I don't know. They ask me things, you know, be so-and-so, oh, well, I don't know, so-and-so, try. But they actually know much more than I do. But I've had the experience. I've worked a long time with a lot of people. And some of the great, I've even did some work with, you know, Kenny Burrell, for example. I've worked some things, been around with Bunny Kessel. Some of these great musicians. And I'm in awe of them, you know. I'm like this inside. They can't see it, but I'm like that. But I learned by listening to them. I also would like to say to anybody that's learning to play, it's good to learn to read, it's good to learn to play with others, but it's also good to try and hear. I believe a lot of the great musicians know what they're going to play before they play it. I don't, but I hear leading up to it. I can hear I'll tell you what, it's sort of like somebody telling you a story, or they're saying something, and you figure out what their point's going to be before they get there. That's kind of the way it is with playing. I hope that the students or whoever is learning, hope they'll be able to get something that makes some sense out of what I'm saying.